Good day everyone and welcome to my presentation entitled Bookstore Site Selection Parameters for Specialized Retail Architectural Design. This is a case study in Quezon City, Philippines. This is Architect Alfred Joffrey C. Carandang, UAP, FRIA, ASEAN Architect, APEC Architect, and Europe. Enjoy the whole presentation. Thank you. For our lag frame analysis of this study for problem statement, bookstore retailing business in the Philippines is not confined to selling books only. As a matter of fact, 60 to 70% of its SKUs are other products and services which are not books but are complementary to its main business, which is books, selling books. Our research questions, number one, what are the set of parameters, considerations, and process to use in site selection of a bookstore in Quezon City? For research variables, site adaptability, statistics of residents in Quezon City, especially in Barangay South Triangle, the number of bookstore which are detectable by Google Map and other online maps available, number of schools and government offices that are detectable by Google Map and other online maps available. For general objective, the specialization of a retail architectural design seeks the determination of areas needed of a shop design that always follow a program based on space programming, computation that incorporates the client business needs. For target output, a visible bookstore and office supply, outlets that consider the main criteria bookstore site selection parameters for specialized retail architectural designs. GIS tools to process data, which we will be using analytical hierarchy process of the AHP and the multi-criteria decision-making or MCDM. As data or map layers, identification of possible market for bookstore in Quezon City, such as determination of population, schools, offices, and residential count. Mapping of one barangay in District 4 of Quezon City that identify existing locations of bookstore. Types and possible sources, Quezon City Government official website, Philippine Statistics Authority, Google Earth for mapping and detecting visible bookstore in South Triangle, Quezon City, and City Population website. As an introduction, architects have a crucial role in shaping the retail architectural design for the safety and success of both stakeholders, the consumer and retailer. In the Philippines, there's a popular bookstore that every bookworm knows, which is the National Bookstore. The National Bookstore has an estimated of 200 branches, while one of its competitor, Fully Book, has about 27 branches wide. The retail book industry is now facing a raft of threats and opportunities brought about by digital technologies and rapid expansion of e-commerce. COVID-19 have also brought a new and even more immediately daunting set of stresses to the retail book industry. Since the online universe and the sudden attack of pandemic is slowly crippling and killing the retail book industry, it is very important for us to know the significance of the location of retail stores. Products sold in bookstores is allotted about 60 to 70% of its shelf space to other school needs, offices, and even home care needs. Bookstores have even added services such as, but not limited to the following: gift wrapping, lamination, and photography. In the retail design industry, we have three key ingredients: architecture, science, and enterprise. Architecture, as we know it, translates to space planning, other architectural considerations, which includes understanding of utilities and other trades in store-built environment. Science in the retail design is a deeper understanding why people buy, the need for people to buy, and what are the considerations or perceptions of customer to think or feel for them to have a favorable decision, which is to buy. Enterprise is the owner of the brand or the visionary of the product or services that needed the professional designer to realize its potential of its business. The goal of this study is the determination of the interconnection of the three key ingredients to make retail outlets successful. Scope and delimitation. This study is to focus on the bookstore site adaptability. Similar establishment in Quezon City, Philippines. Significance of the study. Retail site selection is important when locating a retail establishment. It is commonly believed that good location is the key element to attract potential customers. A well-located store also makes supply and distribution easier. This research will be a great contribution to the field of retail design. For local study, a bookstore that is located at Old Sauyo Road in Novaliches, Quezon City, named Timeless Cafe, which adapts the trends of selling coffee and books. A bookstore cafe encourages customers to stay longer. The strength of the Timeless Cafe includes the accessibility of its location. For foreign study, it is required according to the population, economics, and competition difficulties to be considered. This is a study according to PhD Mustafa and Ahmad Murad bin Mohamed Rohadi and Fang Chua in 2018. This is a proposed work that leverages Google Maps to survey the surroundings and record existing characteristics such as whether the shop is a corner shop lot, can be viewed from the main road, and it has sizable parking space. The highlight of the studies was focused on the importance of setting parameters. It's a consideration of process to use in site selection of a bookstore outlet, and on top of that, demography is considered as one of the factors in terms of retailers to need to consider when it comes to architecture, especially when it's related to science and entrepreneurship. Decision making is significant. This study will connect the ideas of how relevant decision making is in locating a retail store in an area in Quezon City. The volatile and constant changing concept in the retail estate industry, that's according to Alexander Gulushan in 2019. For conceptual paradigm, there are various factors to consider in site selection. We will have a clear parameters on choosing and deciding a most suitable location for our bookstore. To determine that for so many years, spatial location has been an important factor in the field of urban planning, business, and transportation. Site selection is a critical aspect of strategic planning for a broad spectrum of public and private organization. 4 important criteria that are found in Barangay South Triangle, Quezon City, which is demography, distance, location, and competition. AHP is the analytical hierarchy process. In this study, this method of an analytical hierarchy process is applied to weigh the criteria. This method is used to solving multi-criteria decision problem and can be effectively handle both qualitative and quantitative data. And to explain it further, residence versus distance is weighted moderately significant than distance. There are 8 bookstore, office supplies within Barangay South Triangle. We're surrounded by 19 schools, 13 government offices within their barangay. In this context, residence is weighted moderately higher than competition, which is 8 out of 8 bookstore, office supplies are situated inside 1 kilometer radius in direct competitor. Residence versus location. Location residence are weighed in between moderate and strong. As per observation, the 6 bookstore offices were located nearly in the main road. Since they are located in the main road, they are highly visible to the non-residents of Barangay South Triangle. Distance and location is in between equal and moderate importance in this context, since distance and every bookstore and office supplies have schools within their 1 kilometer radius, and 6 of their bookstores were located nearly in the main road. As you can see, the pairwise comparison matrix that we have used, to note that to get the normalized pairwise comparison matrix, we need to divide all these elements to the sum of the column. From the analysis in the main criteria, competition is the most significant criteria in setting parameters for bookstore in Quezon City.